Well, here we are again. Thursday came and here it is. We got our weekly Thursday webinar going on, guys.
Starts just like clockwork. That Thursday keeps showing up. So if you're used to coming to this webinar, you're maybe used to hearing the somewhat familiar music that introduces the coronavirus webinar series, and we don't have that music. And just as people are drifting in, wants to remind people why, and that is because even though coronavirus is still around us and we're still all kind of figuring our pathway through all of that, it's less of an issue now, perhaps. Well, I don't even want to say that, not less of an issue, but everyone has kind of got their path going forward through the coronavirus stuff. We'll just use the nice polite word of stuff, I guess. And so that has changed our focus on the webinars that we're bringing to you. So you're in the right place, especially if you're a Marketing Ideas for Printers subscriber, because we have continued to provide webinar resources, and we still have those going. And I still want to direct you to the page, the coronavirusresourcesforprinters.com. That's going to get you right here. So if you are there expecting the coronavirusresourcesforprinters.com webinar series, it's still there. All of the webinars that we've done till this point are here on this page and archived. But as we mentioned in the previous webinar, which I'm also mentioning again, we've transitioned. We've split that into two different forward paths. One of those is today's webinar. We are continuing the tutorial series. That's the webinar in the second half of what's on the screen there. That's why you're here. We're going to keep that going every Thursday, just to keep that drilled down focus for our Marketing Ideas for Printer subscribers. Everyone's welcome, but we are dialing that in tight for you. Now, here's the other one, and I want to make sure you're signed up for this one too. So a lot of the same ideas that we took with the Coronavirus Resources for Printers webinar series, we're keeping those bigger ideas going through the Sell More Printing webinar series. So even though that's not specifically focused on coronavirus, it's still an incredibly good resource. I'll upgrade that, incredibly great resource to do exactly what the webinar says, to help you sell more printing. That's coming to you each month from Rachel Neese, our Director of Marketing. She just does a top-notch job on that. So I think I've outlasted the time where the video would normally be rolling. And we should probably leave this screen because, as Trish, as you pointed out, and I'm wearing the same shirt as is on that video. I'm just trying to look at my camera angle. If I can position myself right, I'd almost kind of line up there. But anyway, enough of me. We're here to talk about websites. So Trish, where are we going today?
Yep. And one quick housekeeping note, with our weekly Thursday webinar series, when you're in the back end of your website in the control center, up here in the upper right, it says View Weekly Website Tutorials. That will take you to here. This is where the weekly Thursday webinars will be posted. And so if we go down last week's about workflow, continuing with workflow is posted. So I want to make sure to remind folks that a link to all the weekly Thursday webinars, you can easily access those from your control center in the upper right, View Weekly Website Tutorials. And what we're going to talk about.
I'm going to steal the frame back here a bit, because I know what we're talking about today, and I want to introduce it to you because we're going to tell you how you can quickly add about 900,000 words to your website. 900,000 words. How do you do that? Well, here's how I'm doing the math. Because if a picture is worth 1,000 words, what happens when you add a 30-second video? If you add a 30-second video, that's 30 frames per second times that 30-second video. That's going to give you about 900 frames or pictures. Multiply those 900 frames or pictures by 1,000 words. There you go. 900,000 words added to your website, just like that. So that's the video that we're bringing today. Trish, take it away.
All right. So real quick, on the homepage of my demo website, I'm going to scroll down to my callout boxes. And I already did one here, but I'll show you how I did this. This is a custom callout box, and there is a YouTube video in here. And what's nice is when they select that YouTube video, there's a little frame that pops up, and they will see this in a much bigger frame. And if they want, they can click on YouTube to watch on YouTube, but they can watch it right here within the website itself and not have to navigate away. So how did Trisha put this on here? Well, if we go to your control center, click on web pages, and then under the home page tab on the left, there's a custom callout tab. And I've got quite a few here going on. The top one is the one that I've already added. I'm going to say create a new custom callout box. And most of the time what I've seen, but I know some of you have used video, I've seen image based. But we're going to do the second one on the right in embedded video. So select create an embedded video callout box. The next screen allows you to add your headline, your content. This is nice that whether you use YouTube or if you happen to use Vimeo, you can go ahead and add it in the link or the URL on where those are housed. For myself, I don't have any on Vimeo. I have a couple on YouTube. And I have a little cheat here on this other screen. I have a YouTube video. Shout out to Rachel and her Sell More Printing webinar, but I'm going to use one of hers to take the link. So again, when you're creating your callout box, here's examples. If you have the ID only, you can have this type of YouTube link, which I'm going to add. There might be a little bit different. So there's different ways that YouTube presents the links, and there isn't really a right or wrong way. It just depends on what link you throw in here. What I typically do, or what I've seen,
The system is smart enough to know what you're grabbing, that it'll turn it into the right fit for that container.
that's right. What I typically do, there's usually, or there should be a share button down here below the posted YouTube video. If you select share, I'm going to quick copy this to my clipboard of my mouse. I'm going to go back to that custom callout box that I haven't edited anything yet. And I'm just going to Control V or paste that link in there. So now the headline and the content is for you to decide, what do you want your headline to be? What is the content to let your print buyers know about what is this callout box, this video callout box going to be about? We could have this sell more printing. And again, this can be editable once you create this callout box as well. So it's not a one and done. It's just like image based. If you're like, oh, I don't like the way it looks, I want to change it, you can go ahead and edit this again after after you've made that live. So I'll just call it sell more printing. And the content, again, is kind of whatever you'd like to put in here. I'm just going to put, want to be informed about printing? Then watch this video to be amazed. And you can use a little bit of the information. We have the bold here. If you want to provide a link, perhaps you want to have the video, but maybe you want to have a link to maybe your YouTube channel that you have other videos as an example. Maybe your print buyers can, whatever the case is, use your imagination. You can link to another video if you would like. I'm going to create or select update. And here's kind of a quick preview. And we're going to say add custom callout box. When I click that, that means it's going to add it to this list of the custom callout boxes that I have already created. And right now, the one that I just added is at the top, sell more printing. So that's kind of part one, is creating your callout box, whether it's a video based or an image based. Part two is on the left under the homepage tab, select homepage callout boxes. And now you're going to select the custom one that you just made, or basically any of your callout boxes. So as I was mentioning, I have quite a few that are custom, and our system, what's nice, it'll say custom in parentheses on the far right. So it knows, and you know, it's one that you created. The ones that do not say custom are ones that we provide for you if you would like to use, so you don't have to spend time or you're not sure what you want to create at the moment. You can use one of our default. But I'm going to select the one that I created called Sell More Printing, has custom in parentheses. I'm going to drag that up, and I'm going to put it maybe the third one or second one, and I'm going to deselect the one that I had made prior so that you can kind of see how this flows. So the order of these callout boxes, my printer at work should be first at the top, and then right next to it should be that custom Sell More Printing callout box. Select Save, and then you can select View Your Website in the upper right, or if you have your website open on another tab, I'm just going to do F5, and you can refresh your homepage, hint, hint. And then we're going to scroll down here, and I said permanent work is number one. Here is that video callout box called Sell More Printing. Here is the content of that, and then the important part is the video. And if I select the video, again, I get kind of a pop-up there, and this allows your print buyers to view your videos without ever leaving your website, but if they want to, they can select the YouTube link to go to YouTube. And so right here, they can play it, fast forward it, pretty much do the things that they could do when they go to YouTube, but they're not on the YouTube site. And if I wanted to, one quick thing I'll mention is I see a little bit of the text up here, and then there's a word down here, and that's fine. But as an example, if I go back to custom callout boxes and I select edit next to the one I just created, you could press enter and kind of throw the words down below if you want, or that little bit of text, and select save changes. And then if I refresh my home page, you'll see that that text moves down, looks a little bit nicer. It's all contained in 2 lines and not kind of separated out. So this is a great way, and Dave will probably get into it, to disseminate any information that you need to give to your print buyers via a video.
Yeah, and really that's the big win here. Well, a couple of big wins, but you know, we all had a TV studio in our pocket these days. It doesn't take a lot to put together a video, and that's part of how you tell your story. That's something that we preach over and over again. Is yeah, we got a great starting spot for your website, but it's really up to you to tell your story on the website to make it different than all the others. And all you got to do is take your TV studio, add that video up to YouTube, and drop that YouTube link, just like Trish showed you on here. And so that's it adds that human touch to your website. It's a great way to do that. Just think of going back to the COVID stuff, of the coronavirus message. How much more impactful is it going to be if they get a message right from the video version of you versus reading a message? Yeah, they got to have that message to read, but wouldn't it be nice to have you give that message to show that you're on the side of your customers? That's one of the ways that you can use these videos. Now, if you have questions about that, please use the questions panel on the webinar tools here to send in your questions. And haven't had any questions yet, so I'm going to make one up. And that question is, Dave, why would I use this way of presenting a video versus just pasting in a link like YouTube allows you to do? Glad you asked. So here's the answer: is because keep in mind that we're adding. It's just so easy to add that YouTube link in there like that, and then it's automatically going to present itself in a very friendly way, just like Trish showed here. When you click that, it pops up that container, and it's just going to work. It's going to work whether you're on your desktop computer or a tablet or your pocket computer, your TV studio again. It's just going to work, and it's just a nice way to present it with all of the tools, whether that's YouTube or Vimeo. It just drops in there nice and easy like that.
May I mention? Oh, go ahead, Dave. You finish.
That's my handoff. I really don't have a whole lot more to add to that, and it can be as short and simple as that. But go ahead, Trish.
Yeah, one thing I just wanted to add while you were talking, I was pulling up my website on my phone, and I don't know how easy or hard, but as an example, to view these call-up boxes on a mobile device and how that looks, this is kind of what it looks like on my phone. And if I was to click on that, and I did do that, it will show up, and they are easily able to view the YouTube video on their phone. And as Dave said, a lot of folks, I mean, they're ordering printing, they're looking at your website on their phone, and so they can go on here and they can go and click the video, and I have it called up here, and they're able to go right there and click play, and they can view that video right from their phone, and it'll be as big or as little as they want to show it. So it does work well also on a mobile device. So I know a lot of people have been asking about, rendering mobile images and this and that with mobile, which is very important. And so our YouTube videos will show as a custom call out box on your mobile phone. That's all I have as well.
That's how you add 900,000 words to your website. You can do the math. A picture's worth 1,000 words, 30 frames per second on the video times the 30 seconds of the video, right there under Trisha's mouse. 900,000 words on your website, just like that.
There you go.
So that's what we got for you today. We do want to remind you, I see a few people have joined perhaps since the beginning when I made that initial announcement. So just to do a quick recap as a reminder that you're here as the result of the kind of the splitting off of the Coronavirus Resources for Printers webinar series. Those are all recorded and they are all available at coronavirusresourcesforprinters.com. And we now have 2 other webinar series that have resulted from that or are continuing from that. One of them is this one where we keep the Thursday webinars going to dive in deep for subscribers of Marketing Ideas for Printers. The other one, the Sell More Printing webinar series, that's the bigger picture, which does exactly that. It gives you the ideas on how you can sell more printing. So if you're not already subscribed to that one, please take a moment to go there. The buttons are right on this page, coronavirusresourcesprinters.com. Sign up for the Sell More Printing webinar series, and we'll see you at that one as well as this webinar next week. For now, though, I just ask you for about 5 more seconds of your time. We'll wrap up today's webinar. Stick around for the survey. Tell us how we're doing. Give us feedback on what you'd like to see and what's important for you. And with that, we will dismiss and let you get back to selling more printing.
Thank you, Dave. Take care.